Hi, good evening all. Welcome to Blue and Gold Talk, the video on the channel if you're new that I usually just throw random Sabres talk out there, but it's playoff time. There's other things happening I want to get into in this video. And I want to give my predictions on the two series. Guys, I know I haven't been around. I've been busy as hell. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to update you on the Stanley Cup. I'm sure that's why most of you came here, not to see me. You want to see what's happening with this. Well, I've got it put together, I've got it glued, I've got it screwed in together. I put in the filler and I've done the sanding and I've also done the primer. So the only thing left, guys, is the chrome base paint. And I'm still working on the base right now also. I've still got to sand that down and paint that as well. So I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like so far. And there it is, folks. That's where it's at right now. You can only see probably the top of this, I'm guessing, guys. It's fine. Let me get it a little over. So that's the primer on there right now. As you can see, it's all slapped together. And I'll give you guys an in-depth look at it when it's finished and painted and it's propped and just ready to go, basically, you know. But for now, this is, I'm happy where it's at, guys. This was a lot of work. So if you guys are ever thinking of getting one of these, wait to see what it looks like after I paint it. And I'll be able to tell you guys exactly which way I went with it and what work I did to it and what work I avoided doing with it too. I didn't want to sand the hell out of it just to make it perfectly smooth. This is a prop. I got to remember this isn't the real Stanley Cup. So what I'm doing with this is I just want to have it when somebody walks into my studio, a friend of mine or something goes, oh wow, you know, like they don't expect to see this, you know, they don't expect to walk into this. You expect to see a little one or something, but not this, not a life size, right? With all the engravings on it. So it is quite the detailed work, I gotta say, that he did on this. And I'll wait till it's finished and then I'll link you. If you want, you can always go look, price it for yourself, see what you think. For me, this is worth every cent because, guys, I've wanted to get something like this for a while. So it's the only time you're gonna see a black Stanley Cup, guys, so enjoy it. There it is. Put it down for now. And let it sit there because it's still slightly sticky and I don't want to mess up the paint. It's okay though. I know when I can touch primer and when I can't. And right now, I'm just going to leave it be. I'll let that, I could be a real idiot and as soon as it's dry, paint it tonight, but it's not smart. You got to let it set 24 hours, you know, if you're going to be smart with it. Okay, so that's the Stanley Cup talk. I'm going to get into the two series, guys. I'll give you my takes. And you can give me yours. I haven't even watched a game yet. I've been so damn busy today, guys, but let's get on it. I'm gonna talk East. We're gonna talk about Florida at Rangers to open up the semifinals. And if I look at the Rangers, I said before, guys, many times in my videos, this is not a one and done team from a few years ago when they got to the semifinals and then lost. You might remember. We've got a bad storm going on out there right now. It's bad. So I'm just going to try and keep going with it for now. What the way I'm looking at it right now, guys, that's a good young team over in New York, but they have a lot of guys I think that they signed. Like this is a Benajad contract. You can't make sense of that to me with his age and the term they gave him. But they're all in now trying to win the Stanley Cup right now, the Rangers. They got a fantastic goalie. We know this in Shesterkin. Fox is a superstar defenseman. I mean, look, they have some serious pieces. Panarin is showing up. I mean, there's things that they have on this team. Kreider, Trouba, we know this team is really stacked. They're a good, strong team. And the truth is they got a hell of a coach in Laviolette too. There's not much weakness in that team. I'm not sold on Drury being a good GM yet. Not yet. Let's wait and see what happens, you know. And Florida, well, Florida to me, guys, is the whole package. They have everything that I think a Stanley Cup winner is going to need. I really believe that they're going to win the Stanley Cup of the four teams left. There's this Florida team, guys. I think Florida is going to blow through the Rangers, you know, and I could be wrong, but I am going to pick Florida. If they're on a Stanley Cup mission, I'm going to pick Florida to win 4 straight in this series. I'm picking the Panthers in 4. This is how sure and how good I feel about that pick. Like, I am that sure they should beat the Rangers. And the Rangers are a good team, but I don't think it's their time is all it is. I just don't think it's their time. Whereas Florida seemed to have been really knocking on the door, not just last year in the playoffs, but the year before, first overall. And they've been doing all the right things. They got a powerhouse, a team that can score. We know Montour over there has been a perfect fit. And so's Sam. He's been a perfect fit over there. And there's a lot of things. But guys, what I like about Florida is not just they have the depth in goal scoring. They have the coach that seems non-stressed with Paul Maurice. And yeah, he can be a hard ass. He can be. But he's also really good with the media. He's just better than all the coaches left with the media, I find. It took me a while to really warm up to Paul Maurice, guys. It did. It took years. But after last year's playoffs, I had a lot of respect for this guy because he just joked about everything. He kept everything light. And they're showing that last year was no fluke run, the Panthers. No fluke run whatsoever. So I think the Panthers are going to blow through the Rangers. I just do. You know, and I know that's a stretch saying 4 straight, but I think if they're on a mission, they're on a mission. So we'll see if I'm right. Now, going to the West, the Dallas Stars, the biggest team in hockey, and they're one of the older teams. But you know, the key over there, and it really is Ottinger. And I didn't think Ottinger was going to be as good as he was in this playoffs. Even though 2 years ago, he sure looked like it, right? Against Calgary, you guys remember that? He was ready to roll, this guy. If they could have got through that series, and they lost Game 7 in overtime. If they could have got through that series, was that two years ago? Yeah, no, it was the year before last year, right? Yeah, 2 years ago. And then last year, when he looked terrible last year in the playoffs. I thought he looked awful last year. He couldn't save a puck for his life, I felt like, last year. No, he couldn't make a clutch save. This year, he's back to that Ottinger from the year before. So if they can keep getting goaltending like that, Edmonton's in trouble. If they can keep getting that goaltending. They have the guys, they have the veterans, they have, as you guys know, they have a lot of good players on the team. I don't really want to get into the hows and whys of Dallas so much. For me, what just sells me, big team, great goalie. Really. And they can play hard when they have to. If they have to play physical, they will, you know. And then you'll go to Edmonton, and we can pick apart all the pieces in that team. The concern I have for Edmonton is the goaltending. I don't think Skinner will be up to the deal. I just don't. I don't think he'll be outstanding in the series. I think he'll be good. And I think good will be good enough to beat Dallas on one condition. That's if Connor McDavid shows up, really shows up, and dominates this series like we know he can. So if Connor McDavid shows up and dominates this series, they should win it. They really should win it. I mean, they came back against Vancouver like champs. They really did. You know, like Vancouver kept finding themselves in holes throughout the series. They kept putting themselves in positions of having to come back throughout the series. But right now, Edmonton look like maybe, just maybe, they're going to get over the hump this time around and get into the finals and make a push for the Stanley Cup, which wouldn't shock any of us, guys. All these superstars eventually, like Lemieux and Gretzky and Orr and all these guys, always, the Stanley Cup always finds them eventually, and McDavid's no exception. Crosby's another one. And you know, we can go on and on about some of the champs that we've seen in the past. This team looks like they're ready to break through. It's the goaltending I'm not sold on. I think Knoblauch's done an amazing job with this team. I really do. DeBoer also, you know, and I am not a big fan of DeBoer, but this year he's got that team cooking over there right now. They really are. They look really ready. So that's a toss-em, guys. I'm going to go Edmonton in 6. And that's just a gut feeling. I'm not basing it on any logic, as you just heard. I'm just going to go gut call because of Connor McDavid. He's never been to the finals. Maybe it's his time now. We'll see. So I got Oilers and I got the Panthers in the finals. That's it, guys. Done. I'm sorry. There's nothing really else to talk about. I just wanted to throw that out there. And yes, I'm very aware how Dylan Cozens is playing in the junior the World Championships. He looks amazing. He's playing. But are we really surprised? Come on, guys. We know how awesome Dylan Cozens can play. This entire year, it just seemed like anytime he put on the Sabres jersey, something went wrong. It just felt that way. So we'll just have to see. I'm sure Cozens will be fine next year under Lindy. I'm sure of it. It's not a big issue in my head, the contract, and it's really not. You guys know I didn't want that big a contract, but I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine over there. Next year, I mean, going forward on that contract. I'm not stressed about that contract whatsoever for me. The one that's not going to age good is Skinner's now that he's getting older. But if we can get another 30-goal season or two out of him, we'll call it even, shake hands, and wish each other well when it's over. All right, guys, done. I'm going to get to the game. Wanted to show you this. Wanted to talk a bit about my picks, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.